Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is my spoiler review for the final chapter in the Halloween saga, Halloween Ends, that came out yesterday. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alrighty, so first and foremost, I do have my list of notes here and about the film. And some housekeeping before we get started. I do want to mention that I do have a vlog right up here. Now it's not that exciting, it's just a little short summary of this longer spoiler review here. Me going to the movie theater, me checking out the movie, and me giving me my brief thoughts in the car at the movies. So, just wanted to let you know I do have a vlog of going to see Halloween Ends right up there. I'll make a card for it. And if you'd like to check that out, you certainly can. So without further ado, let's get to my notes here and let's get started. So, the first thing I always do with these reviews, whether it be TV shows or movies, I like to talk about the score, soundtrack, whoever composes the movie, or for that matter, TV show. But let's get to it. So the composer for these movies has been a couple people. One, Davis, I wrote that in the name, Davis, John Carpenter and Daniel Davis, I believe it is. But more importantly, John Carpenter did do the original theme song, and throughout the whole entire movies has done the Halloween theme, which it's always a treat to hear. When I went to this film, I just love hearing that pop up in any moment in the film, and it's always great, not just hearing it in the beginning, but come up again, like during the fight scenes and whatnot. And you know, it's always good to put in the background during like Halloween time when fall transitioning, like like that eerie time. Is that one of those eerie music that always gets me, that I always enjoy listening to at this time of the year, or anything scary, I guess you could just put it on. Apparently, I was talking with my one friend, and he's like, "This is the music that plays when the Browns come out of their stadium." I'm like, "Really?" Like, I think I remembered that, and I'm just like, "Okay, cool. I like the music, so why not? It works." Just a side note thing, little neat fun fact about the Halloween score. So yeah, I really like this soundtrack, and John Carpenter does a good job, and with Daniel Davis. So there's that. Moving along to the beginning of the film. By the way, spoilers in this video if you did not know by the title, so I'm going to be getting into that right here, right now. So back out now if you haven't seen it. I try to wait to put this review out a week later, and then to give you guys some more time to watch it. So, if you guys have not seen it yet, come back and add this to your favorites list. So, with that said, the beginning of the film kicks off with a flashback to 2019. And prior to, because the last film ended, I believe, in present day. So I want to say that this took place before Halloween Kills ended, and it takes place in 2019. It starts in 2019 with this babysitter. Shocking, because I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Halloween franchise. So we see this babysitter for this child. These parents are going to go to a Halloween party. I'm guessing they didn't say where they were going. They were both in costumes, so I was guessing that they were gonna go to a Halloween party. And they asked this, I don't know, guy in his 20s, maybe he's a teenager, I don't know, to babysit their kid. And I'm gonna assume that the child was around 5 years old. Could have been younger. Maybe 3. I doubt he was 3. Maybe 5 or 6 or 7. Maybe that's even too old. I'm going to guess a 5-year-old, but I digress. So, in the midst of them watching a scary movie because the babysitter wants to, you know, have fun, entertain the child, and then the child just goes off on this babysitter, like, "No, you're scared. Michael Myers is still out there. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're not a babysitter. You're terrible." Like, oh, wow. Okay, well, this is wow, great acting for the child, but man, what a harsh child. So then the child plays a prank on the babysitter, and it ends up blocking him in the closet, and then trying to bust out, he kills the child. It's that dramatic. He just straight up kills the child. 3 flights. They live in this like rich place, and the child falls down the whole like staircase onto the floor, bleeding to death. And I'm like, man, I know this is rated R. Like, I know about the Halloween franchise, but I'm just like, man, this is what happens? Really? So, anyway, it was good. And and then this whole, I mean, the parents are traumatized, like, what did you do? And then it cuts to the Halloween intro score theme, and I'm like, man, what an opening. What an opening right there for a movie, or for the ending. And then this whole character named Corey, the babysitter, really, I feel like, I mean, many people, I haven't heard many people talking about this yet. I've just seen the score on Rotten Tomatoes, and then the reviews, and I'm like, okay, I can see issues with this, but you know, many movies these days kind of have, if you're trying to either, I mean, this is the ending of the movie, or of the whole trilogy, of the saga, but this new killer with Corey added a lot of depth, and this is something I'm going to go into later, character development, characters, that, I mean, I might as well just kind of connect with that, nice segue there, but the new killer story, I feel like they kind of focused on, and again, I haven't seen all of the Halloween movies, so maybe I'm like losing something here, but I feel like with this added a new dynamic to it. Now again, they could have added this in either one of the previous two films, but I feel like because since they killed off of other characters in the previous ones, I feel like this allowed them to do something new and fresh for this specific movie. Now, if you're not down with that, that's fine. I just felt like it added a lot of more depth and, you know, like something character, like a motive, for, like a new character in there. But that, I don't know, that's just me. But going along with that, I love this, the way the film used characters, and especially each one of them and their depth and their emotions. Something I didn't was surprised by, not understand. Something I was surprised by was the fact how that they included characters from the other movies. Like, again, I haven't seen all the Halloween movies. I feel like I'm going to keep saying that throughout this video. But I've only seen the first two parts of the H2O, and then the Halloween 2018, and this one, I mean, this whole new trilogy. But it's something that just surprised me. I'm like, wow, they included characters from the other two films. They included the little boy, who was just in the end of the movie, but I'm like, wow, there's that guy, and they had the woman who got killed in the last one with the little light tube. I'm like, holy crap, that's her. Like, her friend was there talking like, Lori, do you know what you've done? You've unleashed this monster that killed my wife, or killed my friend, who not killed, but can't talk. Like, she was in a wheelchair. I'm like, oh my god, I thought she was dead in the last one, but her husband died. And I'm like, oh my god, he's still there? Or she's still there. I'm like, no, not him, because he died in the last one. But I'm like, man, I thought she'd be dead. It's unbelievable that they included this stuff, and, you know, just kind of going along with my character story, I liked how, what was it? Allison, I almost said Alyssa, Allison got this dynamic with Corey, and, you know, it was a very unique love story. And this might really, not traumatize, this might really, like, affect people, like, oh, I hated this was stupid. Because in the last one, she had this boyfriend, which I believe was in 2018 as well, which I love 2018, I think most people do. And I will defend both Halloween Kills and this movie for various reasons, which I'm not going to mention right now. But the boyfriend of Allison from 2018, and then who got killed in the last one. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that one. Sorry, but he died. So I think this Corey character was a great way to introduce, you know, kind of have this flirtation, love story dynamic, and then obviously in the end, I'll get to what happens later. But I love that there was an element about him that you get, kind of like a mysterious element, unwinding, like she doesn't know, then Lori knows, and then it was something, because I felt like either this is a movie that's going to be divisive, like people like, oh, I hate that element, but it's like, yeah, but she has no one to be with since he died in the last movie, so I kind of like the way that this played out. So I love the love story element to it. I love the characters. The one I didn't understand was, I mean, I know she was, I think, a part of this whole trilogy, but the character who was the nurse, like, I think she had red hair, who was just saying, oh yeah, I talk all the time, but I can't stop talking about the Michael Myers stuff. And it's like, okay, but there wasn't. She had like zero character motivation, and I'm like, okay, did she really need to be there? I mean, obviously she worked at the hospital, but I'm like, okay, you served no purpose in this movie. Even the fact like some people might not like the Corey character, I'm like, this character served no purpose whatsoever. But that's just my thoughts on that. Going along. Besides that, I'm trying to think if there's any other thing, like, before I transition here, if there's any other characters that I need to think about. Again, talking about the love story, the fact that Lori Strode got a little bit of a dynamic with, or connection with, what's his face, Richard? I don't know why I keep thinking his name was Richard. The other old guy, who talked with her throughout the whole entire movie. I forget his name. I keep thinking it's Richard. If it is Richard, yay, I'm right. But if it's not, let me know in the comments below what it is. And, but yeah, getting to see them mingle, and then in the end, I guess, have a happily ever after. I don't know what's going to happen with them, but hey, they're sitting on a front porch of their house, of her house, and something's going on. So, I don't know, but that was a nice touch addition to the movie. I like that a lot. And I do remember him from the other films. I do think he was in the previous installments. I just absolutely don't remember what his name was. If it was Richard, that's a great win for me. But anyway, they tied a little nice bow on that. And yeah, so I think that's everything I wanted to cover with characters. And there's also the dark-haired woman with the earrings who wasn't quite annoying. I think she was just a friend of Lori Strode who was not annoying, who wasn't the nurse at the hospital, but who was like, oh yeah, you guys did stuff at the... She was the bartender, when the party, that was a lot of weird English sentence, but when Allison and Corey were both at the party, she was the bartender, she was the one giving drinks, and yeah, she was a fine character. She actually helped them out when the mom of the kid that died, that Corey killed, she helped them out and was like, stop, this is too much, just get out, you're doing too much. So I like that a lot. And also Corey's parents, I like the dynamic of this too. If people are mad about Corey, I'm sorry, but the fact that how it kept going to Corey's house and how Lori tried to talk to Corey's mom, and then she got all upset because Corey's mom started talking about Michael Myers. I'm like, man, this development between Corey's parents and her, and between Corey and his parents, I'm like, all of this depth, man, it really worked. Again, this isn't, I want to mention this at the end here, I want to mention this now, this isn't a perfect movie, but all those elements fit really nicely together, and I like the spice, I like the spice that it gave, so that was nice for me. As opposed to the last movie, I think the last movie had a lot of good kills, which the name implied, but it didn't have a lot of good character depth, so that's something to think about if you're going into this movie, or want to think about this movie in a different way. So there's that. Also, the cinematography in this film is shot really nicely. I like it a lot. I didn't pay attention to it as much either. I think 2018 did some good stuff, and also, I feel like Kills did a little bit of that, but again, all I can think about with Kills is the killing and the hospital scenes. That's all I could think about. But with this one, it kind of had some nice like shots, visuals from transitions to the area, the locations that they were. Very, very nice. And I praise them for that, so I like that a lot. I like when I can praise a movie about its shots and its visuals. So there's that. And then going right along, I have to say that the kills and the jump scares were phenomenal. Now I don't go into any horror slasher or especially the Halloween genre. Like I wasn't expecting this to be like, I need jump scares every 5, 10, 15 minutes. No, that's what I'm looking for. But I wasn't expecting how like that they were in there. And also when I was going, or when the movie started, and the kid like, what was it? Oh, she was saying that Jeffrey, that's the kid that died, we're gonna go to a party. He just immediately jump scares. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the first actual jump scare to not be a kill. Like I would have expected like a knife or something, you know, actually happen to actually like react to it. But no, it was just the kid jumps out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa. And then the whole theater, like, it felt like it vibrated, and then the door slammed at another point in time. Like, whoa! I'm like, oh my god, why? Why am I getting reactions at that? I don't know. But that was kind of interesting. But there's great jump scares in it. The kills are great, and I heard someone review this movie and say there's not a lot of kills in this movie, as opposed to Halloween Kills. And I'm sitting through this movie going, okay, there's a kill here, there's this great epic kill, there's a kill here, this happened, this happened, and this happened. And I'm going, okay, this was totally fine. Like, I don't know what this person was complaining about, but Halloween Kills, which the name implies kills, I feel like there should be more there should be more kills in that movie than any other Halloween film combined, which I think there were. But this film did it fine. I felt like it did a number of things, especially with the whole kid. Like, again, there's spoilers in this video, so the whole kid scene when Corey comes with Michael. But again, Michael teaming up with Corey was great together. Again, it probably made zero sense logically. Like, some people, like, if I had my friend watching this with me who's not into Halloween and just goes, that made zero sense logically, I go, okay, sure, but this kid or this teenager, babysitter, for lack of a better term, killed someone. He has these deep, dark thoughts. He sees Michael Myers in the eyes and goes, I'll team up with this guy to get revenge somehow, and then he just goes on a rampage and then kills these kids, and I'm like, oh, he kills the cop dude that was being a douche to Allison, and I'm like, yay, he gets revenge. Like, I wasn't really rooting for Corey, but I was just kind of happy to see that play out, and then Allison could go on another date with Corey. So there's some little elements there that I kind of enjoyed, and then when he killed, when he went to the dealership, auto mechanic place, and killed those kids, the bullies that came after him, I'm like, it was a great montage, not montage, but scene of killing and carnage scene. That's what I'm looking for. Just all out carnage, mayhem, disaster. That's what this movie. I wouldn't call this movie. I would call Halloween Kills carnage and mayhem, and all out brawl. But this film just was great with all the kills and the kids. And like I said, I don't want to be a broken record, but I like the stakes, and also the scene where this was the woman, the red-haired woman that went home with a doctor, and was about to get in the shower, and just sees Corey killing the dude, and I'm like, oh my god. And then she runs in, tries to break her hand, and then gets stabbed and hung on the wall by Michael Myers. Like, that's pretty intense. So yeah, Corey and Michael working together, all the kills just worked for me on all levels. I think one of the things, before I get to my final note I took of this movie, I think one of the things that worked for me about this movie is the fact that not only, like I said, the characters, like how they were able to use all these elements with the connection with Corey and Allison together, all the characters, all of the like the kills, like the dynamics, like the way they were able to like mesh all these elements together, and I'm thinking, I think if I rewatch this film, because I'm literally making this review when I got home from the theater, and just thinking about my thoughts on this film, that I just am in awe of how they did it with the story and everything. Because, I'm a moviegoer, and, I like the Halloween movies, but I'm not like a nitpicker, like, okay, this was bad, this was bad, this was bad, because it's a Halloween franchise, right? It's just, sometimes these movies can be dumb and illogical, but I feel like out of Halloween Kills, like, if I watch these movies in order, 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, this one comes out a little bit higher than Halloween Kills. I still like the carnage and the mayhem in that one, but this one I feel like concludes with the characters and everything that happens in it very nicely. Now, this might not be for you, that's fine, but I feel like it does it very nicely. So there's my little brief summary on that, or thoughts on that. I did not take a note on that, but let's get to the last one right here, right now. So my final note I took down on this video was the takedown and the finale. And My goodness, I was in love with the way this takedown battle happened. And like I said, the finale, like I just mentioned, I said why I like this movie a little bit more than the last one and how it all concluded, but I'll get to that again in a little bit, but in a minute. So, yeah, the way they took down Michael Myers was just all out epic. I cannot wait to watch this on repeat. Excuse me for pausing there, but I feel like I haven't read a lot, I haven't listened to a lot of people talk about this, but the way they started, you know, because they already have Corey in the movie, right? So it's like, oh, who's going to be in the mask, right? Who's going to show up and take down Lori Strode? Because Lori, surprisingly, you hear in the trailer, like, oh, if I can't kill him, or if he won't die, maybe I have to die along with him, or something along those lines. But I'm like, okay, what's going to happen here? So she calls 911 and attempts a suicide. She says there's a suicide, and she tries to kill herself, and then she opens the door or closes the door, shoots the pumpkin. You see the pumpkin splatter, and then it's Michael Myers. I don't know. It's someone in a mask, and then we see Lori shoot the person. And he falls on the floor, the mask is pulled off, and it's revealed that it's Corey. And to me, it wasn't really that big of a surprise. Like, okay, because he's been in the movie, because he's one of the other threats, so that happens. And then he gets stabbed, and Allison comes in, surprised, like, crying, like, thinking that Lori Strode, her grandma, killed him. So, you know, there's that little twist, and it didn't really bother me, because I knew he was in the movie. So then, Michael Myers comes in, they have a battle, Corey tries to stop him, but he goes and kills Corey, because Corey is alive, and then now he's dead, for sure. But, yeah, so Michael comes in, and has the showdown with Lori Strode. He tries to put her hand in the garbage disposal moment. I think that was a reference from H2O, and then they do a whole bunch of moments. She's in the closet, she hits him with a fire extinguisher, comes out, and all these moments, like movements and takedowns, and then Allison comes in. Well, she pins him down with knives on like the island, or the table. I think that was the kitchen island, I believe, and then he's just laying there, and then she like stabs him in the chest, or in the chest, and then she slits his throat, she like cuts his wrist, like, oh my god, like blood going everywhere, and all of a sudden he gets up, right? He gets up, and then Allison comes running in, rips his arm down on the countertop, and is like, ah, and then he's done. And then she just slits his arms open, blood everywhere, his neck, he can't speak, can't breathe, his neck is cut open, and it was brutal. I love the way they finaled him. They took him down, and then they're like, he's not dead enough. So the whole town comes together, puts him on the top of the car. Lori and Allison are driving, and all of a sudden, they put him through a car chopper. I'm like, a car, and he just crumbles. He gets to, like, demolished, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what happened? Now, I'm also thinking, like, as I was watching this, I was kind of going, okay, well, why didn't they do this before? You know, like, I am a fan of this genre now, apparently. I didn't know I would be. But I like this genre. I'm not going to watch the Rob Zombie ones, but I like the way that they did this. I like this trilogy. I like the way they concluded this, right? But I'm kind of thinking, they couldn't have done this a while ago. Now, I haven't seen all the other ones, right? But, like, they could have killed him this way a while ago. Like, Lori wasn't like, oh, let me just, like, attack him and then put him in, like, a destroyer. Like, I never thought of this. But anyway, that's just kind of my own personal thoughts. But regardless of the way it was done, the takedown, the finale, all the characters, like I mentioned earlier, the character depth, the story, the dynamics, and the cinematography, the soundtrack, the kills, all tied together nicely. It worked for me. In the finale, like I said, she was also writing another nice element to this film. She was writing a nice memoir story about Michael Myers, which I found kind of interesting. So I'm hoping that the townspeople, the whole town, and maybe she got it published, maybe people got to read that about the truth. So I found that quite interesting as well, a nice touch as well. So guys, this, if I'm gonna rank this out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 7. I don't even know what I would give Halloween Kills. Maybe I would give Halloween Kills a 5, and I would give this one a 7. That's how much I enjoyed this movie. Definitely 2 thumbs up for me. Don't take 2 thumbs up with the grade. I just, you know, 2 thumbs up for me is really good. So a 7 out of 10 for me. What did you guys think of Halloween Kills? Or Halloween Kills? That was the last one. Halloween Ends. Yeah, again, just everything works nicely. By the way, Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper was the last song, that was the ending song in the movie, so that was pretty nice. That was pretty cool. But, what a nice touch. So, just lots of elements, not personal things, but things that I liked about this movie, and if I would watch it again, I definitely think it's worth a repeat. Another kill, I forgot to mention this, just a brief last moment here. Kill at the radio, or the DJ, that was the most brutal moment in the film. Oh my god. Oh, so good. And I like everything. I like this movie. It's not a perfect movie, but it worked for me. It might not work for everybody. And something else, I feel like this is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 of the Halloween franchise. If you don't know what that means, kind of means like will work for some people, won't work for other people. I kind of like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's not the best movie out there, but it has some things going for it, kind of like this movie does. So, there's that. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did enjoy this review. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, LegoDude11, where I do vlogs, reviews, customs, so much more like that, so much more content, but as well, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me. Stay tuned for my Black Adam review coming next week. If you missed the Halloween Ends vlog, don't forget to click that card right up there. Stay tuned for more videos coming real soon. And as always, don't forget to keep calm, play Lego. See you guys next review. Peace out. Bye, everyone.